Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our Automation Rocketship channel. Today, we have with us Pradeep Shukla and Annie Menon joining us from different time zones as we all are like scattered around this time around. So, first of all, congratulations, Pradeep, Andy, for being once again the UiPath MVP class 2024.
Thank you,
So,
Priya,
big
and
round of
same
applause.
to you. Yeah, same to you. And interestingly, I don't know if you guys noticed or not, all three of us are actually placed in the AI category.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was really interesting. I found out that all right, that's and actually I was looking for a few other categories that really piqued my interest last year. Not that AI was not the interest area, but there are other features also from UiPath that I was really interested and spent a lot of time. But yeah, I'm happy to be part of this cohort and looking forward to a lot more collaboration and talking to each of you.
It just tells like how much of like shared similar interest that we all have and the amount of topic that we discuss around AI. So I can only imagine like all of us being around the same category. But I know like all of us have our own like, interest in other products as well. And we will definitely like learn about it from each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Andy, your
Andy.
thoughts?
Yep, I agree. So again, congrats, guys, and it's great to be back as MVP again. And to everyone who's watching out there, congratulations to the other MVPs and the new MVPs of 2024. So we are looking forward, as usual, like we do every year, to have a chance to meet with you folks, to collaborate with you folks, and learn from you folks and also get a perspective on your experience as MVPs and what you bring to the club, right?
Yeah, rightly said,
And
rightly said.
yeah, and coincidentally, we are all in the AI club. But again, AI buys. My argument to that is AI standalone is of no use. You have to interface it with other aspects of the product. So when we are going to be kind of contributing and collaborating, it's always going to be in cohesion with other parts of the UiPath platform. So let's see what this year brings, and let's see how best we can kind of bring our contributions to the community.
Yeah, and this year I think there are 125 MVPs announced.
Yeah.
So that's a solid class of technical folks coming out, and we definitely like to welcome all the MVPs that have guided the community over the years. Continue to do so, but at the same time, there are several of them who have joined this cohort for the first time. So,
Right.
like Andy said, welcome, and we are really glad to be part of this group.
Yeah, and even though like some of them are like the first time MVP, I have seen them on the forum that they have been these kind of like UiPath champion boards. That they have been like contributing in their own ways, like sharing a little bit of knowledge here and there. And I'm pretty sure like Andy met pretty much most of them in person when he went to the DevCon, which is the
Yeah.
most exciting experience. So Andy, why don't you share a little bit about the DevCon?
Yeah, I mean, guys, like I put in my announcement post, right? What are the odds that I was meant to be here, right? It is so strange because it was decided a week or less than the before the DevCon event was supposed to take place, and as I was traveling, my schedule was completely shot out of the water for many reasons, and I managed to make it to the event the very last moment, right? I managed to grab the time and go. Um, and to me, it was the first thing is that uh, I was told by the organizers, look, if you're not coming, if you're coming, don't tell anyone, because in the end, if your plan changes, then it's going to be a disappointment, right? We would rather like to have that as a surprise. And when I went in there, people were looking at me like with surprise and also kind of disbelief, like, okay, what is this guy doing here? And uh, yeah, I
Exactly.
don't know about you guys. Maybe you guys are more comfortable, but to me, I was establishing eye contact with a lot of people, and uh, although we did not exchange any words, there was a lot of familiarity already established. So it's possible that they've been following my YouTube channel and they already know me through interactions on forums. But there were a lot of folks who walked up and engaged in conversation. And to me, that was let us say a very new experience, because I was never I know a YouTuber, or never had that intention in the past. And for me, it was a very refreshing experience, a very positive experience to know how many people were actually following you on the channel. And it reflected greatly in the award ceremony, right? The kind of applause you received gave you a sense of how many people were actually knew you by what you were doing and what you were contributing to the community. And I think that's where uh, whether you are an MVP or not, if you are contributing to the community, I think that's what you get in return, a lot of familiarity and recognition by a large group of people on what your contributions are to this entire profession, right? Especially UiPath RPA.
Yeah, I mean, over the years, Andy, you have contributed a lot through various channels, right? So it's not, I'm not surprised that most of the folks already knew you. Definitely they would have been really surprised because you are US based, right? So they
Right,
were
right.
definitely not expecting you to be present at that
Yeah,
moment in India. But
yeah,
I would say this is luck have it. You were supposed to be there and you were there. I'm sure it was a rewarding experience for you. We would
right.
like to learn more about it, definitely. We have seen the DevCon material and the link with the agenda and all the program sessions that are listed out there. But since you were there, you could definitely talk about the actual environment, right? What it was like to be. Because this is more for developer forum, right? So all of
Yeah,
the technical
yeah,
folks, I would say, I think product
correct,
managers from inside UiPath and the community, they were all together.
right.
What was like everyone coming together?
I think the DevCon event itself was hosted in one of the best places in Bengaluru, right? In at Shangri-La. And I was shocked by how many people you could hold there. Even how many people could be packed into just the ballroom alone for if you wanted to host an event. And it was well organized for a scale event of that scale. It was well organized. Things moved very smoothly. Of course, there are a little bit of to and fro on the when you get into the event and when you try to register. Those hiccups are there, but I think that is nothing in comparison to how smoothly things went. Despite the fact that some of the participants could not show up for the award ceremony because of various reasons, but still how Vibor and Corina and everybody, the entire community organizers, like got together and recalibrated and reorganized and let the
At a
event,
runtime.
yeah, the flow very smoothly. And I was there, like you said. It was a for me it was a great feeling to meet all these people that I haven't met since I became an MVP, or even um, got to know what UiPath is for the first time. I've known these folks for maybe from early 2019,
Mhm.
and I haven't met them in real person. And it was great to meet, especially folks from Romania, right? Like Andrea, Corina, and Oana, and several others that I was meeting for the very first time. And it was more of a people to people interaction, because there were a lot of these booths there that were giving us information on several aspects of the UiPath product. And the booths were packed, and everybody was so busy that I didn't even want to go and like kind of get in their way, because they were so busy, like talking to people, giving out information. And I had the opportunity to kind of give feedback on the specialized AI course that I recently completed on on the UiPath Academy. And I was able to give feedback directly to Miranda, who's the content creator for the academy. And it was taken in good great stride and great spirit. And I think it was the event was more than the sessions. The event was more about meet and greet people, and I met other MVPs from the India zone, like Parth and Mukesh and several others, Ruchi Mahajan and Harika. Harika is a new MVP, and it's a great personality. I think we should have her on the channel, and she has been contributing greatly. And I think even Ruchi, hopefully we'll have the opportunity to kind of collaborate. But I enjoyed the more meet and greet, and then we had folks who were practitioners, who I have not met before. And we were engaged in conversations about how we could collaborate and things like that. So the networking aspect of it was really great, and um, you never knew how time passed. I mean, the event started at like 8 a.m., 9 a.m. in the morning, and it went all the way up to like 9 p.m. The 12 hours, in a setting like that, somehow human beings find the energy to yeah,
I think
to kind of,
it's a combined energy, right? When there are
yeah,
so many people are coming together, and
yeah,
the point that you talked about, right? That meeting new people, that generates its own energy.
correct,
So
correct,
in physical terms, and in that energy actually keeps everyone energized for
yep,
that longer period.
yep, yep.
Well, that's great. I think we also wanted to know about. I think Priya had a great question for you. Why don't you go ahead,
Yeah.
Priya?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that, like, across the globe, we all have like these different regions of community, and like you landed in the right place at the right moment, because
Right.
being there for the DevCon is like a big deal for sure. I've
Yep.
been trying for so many years, but like
Yeah.
every time it either happens in Europe or India, and like,
Yeah.
traveling is not that easy. But
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
made it happen, Andy. That is a big deal. And I'm
Uh,
pretty sure Indian community is so electrifying. Their energy to learn, to ask questions,
right.
to learn more and more, they absorb like so much, and which
Yeah.
is like really, really like so nice to see, because you also tend to do that when you see other people
Yeah.
doing that. So
Yeah.
that's a really blessed experience, I would say.
Yeah. Phenomenal. There were these certification course, exams there that you could take free. I could see people going in unprepared and taking it and passing the exam, right?
Wow.
And they would come out and say, "I just cleared this exam." Um, and because of my the crunch in my travel schedule, I couldn't grasp the full agenda of this. And when I got there, I came to know that there's this this certification exams that you can take. But then again, I hadn't planned for it. I wasn't mentally prepared for it. And I went there, and I was absolutely electrified by the people energy and the meet and greet, uh, uh, to the point that I got so engaged in the conversations. And I said, you know what, you can take your exams whenever if you want, but this type of meet and greet, like, which reflects on what you said, Priya,
Yeah,
getting there at that point in time. And I cannot thank Vibor enough. Vibor got to know I'm in the city, and he's like, "I thought you said you're coming to India." I said, "Yes, I am in India, but I'm staying at my parents for several reasons, and I haven't really had the time to venture out." I said, "Can you make it to the event?" And I knew why he was insisting so much, because if he hadn't done that, probably I would have missed this golden opportunity. It was, what are the odds, right? I mean, you get there, you are probably the only US MVP
yeah. You were
representing,
representing all of us. That's
correct,
what I
right?
believe
Exactly.
also,
Representing in
right?
a time zone,
Yeah,
and I think Pranav, who was the gentleman before me accepting the MVP award, was from the UK, and coincidentally, he was also on a trip to back home, and he had the opportunity to come there. And such a coincidence that the two guys sitting next to each other, Pranav and Prashant, were accepting this award from Daniel Dines, and they were the only ones probably representing their zones, right? So even to me, it still looks surreal. It looks
yeah,
like, hey, how did all this happen? And I made it to the event, and I'm not exactly a crowds person, but I never thought that I'll enjoy it this much. And you're right, the creative energy of people, the responsiveness of UiPath towards the young engineers, right? I mean, there was a time when India's population was a liability, but today it's an asset. These young engineers, all in their 20s and mid 20s and early 30s, the energy levels are phenomenal, right? Their
Yeah.
ability to absorb, their ability to learn, and their ability to kind of come up with solutions
And openly
makes.
share, right?
Yeah,
The amount of share knowledge sharing
yeah,
is phenomenal. It helps
yeah,
everyone, and
Mhm.
yeah.
it
And
builds the whole ecosystem, right?
yeah,
It builds a whole ecosystem.
yeah, it was phenomenal. I mean, you guys must, next time it happens, try to make it. It's worth, I think,
We're gonna try our best,
getting to
Andy.
something like this. Yeah.
But Andy, I want to know more that about the golden opportunity that you mentioned. That I'm pretty sure you went for so many different sessions. But I want to know, like, what are your top three favorite sessions that you attended?
Yeah, I can tell you that I absolutely loved Manoj Batra's. I hope I'm saying his last name right. Manoj, if you're watching this, sorry if I said it wrong. His session on cloud robots was very smooth, very well presented, and he was in good control of the presentation. He was able to walk us through the difference between cloud VMs and cloud robots and serverless robots, spin them up real time, show us how to spin them up, and then run an automation on each of them, and show us the automation running from end to end. It was really nice, and it was concise. His presentation was probably 15-20 minutes maybe, and it was really, really nice. I really enjoyed watching that because I wanted to explore cloud robots. I hadn't explored it, but I walked away getting first-hand knowledge of how to use them, right? And I think Chetak also, I think, was from marketing for the UiPath, cloud robots, and he was able to give a good overview of how to use them, the robot units, and what are the differences between the robot units that you use for cloud VMs versus the robot units that you use for serverless robots, right? So I enjoyed that very much, and it was fulfilling because now, even without trying myself, physically what they are, I got a very good sense of what these products are, right? So that was very good. I take that as my first session that I enjoyed. The second session was from on apps, augmenting low code apps with Gen AI. I think it was, I forget the
It was
name again.
Gurdeep
Yeah,
Gurdeep.
Gurdeep
Rati.
Rati, I think. Yeah. It was very, very, filled with a lot of questions. And the session talked about they demonstrated where they took a form that they captured from a mainframe window, and then they feed it to the AI, and the AI generates a UI in the UiPath app, right?
Wow.
Mm.
The form, right? And it seems that it's going to be further improved upon, so that it could be that entity that's been created in the app could further be augmented with more rules and more what you call coupling with other UiPath products like queues, right? What if
Mhm.
you want this item to go into a queue, for example, right? And then I had a specific question which I asked. Uh, Basically, if you want to convert very long forms, right, that are multi-page and cannot be captured in a single screenshot, then how would the AI, weave all those together? Let us say that you are scrolling the form and taking three different screenshots and then feeding it to the AI. How will the AI actually create them as a single entity? Or
Mhm.
another interesting question was, if how are you going to form a set of data service entities with relationships, right? Can 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 the system be enhanced to that level of sophistication, right? And then there was a humorous question. by I think Sudhir Nimagada was like, okay, if AI is doing everything, what are the developers going to do? That drew a lot of yeah, and Gurdeep was pretty
Prompt to
witty about
answer.
that response. He said that's why we have not put things like adding other things to make make this as advanced, so developers can still do the other things instead of asking AI to do everything. And one of the
I think
audience
that's a
replied,
good question that everyone is asking these days, right?
correct, correct. Yeah, it was a question about, okay, is AI going to automate you out of an automation profession, right? That was the question. And then somebody, immediately responded, well, developers probably have to do billing, right? But it was very humorous, but at the same time, it shows the shape of things to come. And that was a that was a session filled with questions, filled with a lot of humor. And we never knew even the time passing. But it was a great session. I enjoyed that session very much. Um, the third one is on automation governance by Shishir Mishra, right? And it was an hour session, I think, after lunch. Um, I think you guys must watch it. It was phenomenal, and the whole end-to-end, explanation about how governance policies are set and how you could use those when developers start building automations. How do you then implement it on citizen developers, right? How do you implement those
Mhm.
governance policies? And then the whole thing like kind of evolved into AI based governance. And because the session was so exhaustive and we took in so much information during the first half of the day, I think that it requires another revisit, right? We'd have to go back and watch that session. And if your automation ops is something that's your specialty and governance is something that's your specialty, I think that's something that is a must watch. So these are my top three sessions that I sat through completely, enjoyed them completely, and learned something, out of that.
That
Very
is
well
so
said. Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, very well said, Andy. I think that's a succinct review of the DevCon event and top three. Everyone will have their own top three, and
Yeah,
definitely
Yeah,
I would encourage everyone to go
yeah,
because these all these events are available. The replay is available online,
yeah,
and we'll
yeah,
put the event link on our description as well. So go ahead, register, watch them, pick them which particular areas you are interested in. I'm sure
yeah,
all of them were high quality events or high
yeah,
quality talks.
yeah,
Those were top three from Andy, and we'll find some more from the community.
yeah,
Let us know in your feedback, right? That what are your top three? So
yeah,
that
yeah. If
that
you
helps
attended the
learn everyone.
session in
Exactly.
person, we would love to
yeah,
know like what were
Exactly.
your
yeah,
top three as well.
yeah.
So please go
Don't
ahead and comment.
Yeah, don't miss the fireside chat with Daniel Dines. It was, I think, the most prized discussion. It was a great discussion, and I don't want to spoil the fun for you guys, but you can get an insight to his thinking and why he is now the Chief Innovation Officer. Right, again, where he started from, what was his philosophy about the product, how did that change, and now that led to where he is today as Chief Innovation Officer. That's a must watch, I think.
Sure.
And yeah, it was very enjoyable. That session was, and that was just before the award ceremony. And the award ceremony, let me not, I tell you, it was kind of flawless, right? Everything went very well, very smooth. And there were 34 people, I think, who were supposed to be awarded the trophy, and everything went like clockwork. Everything, the timing of it, um, no hiccups. And then we all got in for the grand picture and the photo session. And we all had to squeeze in and go back to the screen because the arena was packed, right? The
Yeah.
ballroom was packed, the main theater. And the photographers were just so close up to us, they couldn't capture all of us in the frame. But I think they managed to pull it off. But it was really it went so well. I was surprised because I was nervous about it because a few individuals didn't turn up. There was change in the order and the change, and we had to remember who was in front of us and things like that. And we were nervous, but when it happened, everybody was lock in step, and everything went very smooth. And hats off to the whole UiPath community organizers. It was phenomenal. The whole DevCon, the way it was organized for an event of this scale,
Yeah.
it was fantastic.
I had watched some part of it a couple of days back, and I wrote back to Vibhor and his team that it was really
Yeah,
very well curated and organized
yeah,
event,
yeah,
looking
yeah. True, very true.
from all the recordings. And yeah, I'm really glad. I'm really happy to hear what you're sharing, and I can feel that I was there.
Excitement.
Yeah.
Yeah. You make us feel that like I wish I was there too.
Yeah, you should be, guys. Believe
Hopefully.
me, if it's a great place, a way to collaborate, and especially in the Asia time zone, it's phenomenal. The energy levels are phenomenal. The everybody is bubbling with so much enthusiasm, so much energy, have so many questions. It's fantastic. And I haven't been to an event in India in a very long time. And for me, the difference in energy levels when being in an event in the US versus being in an event in India was like it's night and day, right? So it was you guys should try to make it to an event in this time zone if you want to feel the real energy levels.
Well, we'll try next year for
Right.
sure.
Yeah.
We'll see what
Yep.
we can do for that. All right. I think it was great catching us. Thank you, Andy, for sharing. And we all got to catch up together uh, with the new MVP announcement. And let's put together our plans for this year. What all the we want to share, not just from technology side, but also uh, we'll plan for bringing on some of the MVPs on our
Oh
platform
yeah. Oh
to
yeah.
share their journey and how they came to be. We'll work on that, and definitely if any of the community members or MVPs who are watching this, if they are interested to join us, feel free to reach out. We are just one email away.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. And please do leave your feedback on what you thought about our take on DevCon 2024 and being MVPs in what it means to be an MVP in 2024. Please do drop us a line and please do subscribe to the Automation Rocketship channel, and we hope to see you there.
Yeah, looking
Absolutely.
forward to another year of amazing collaborations here.
Yep.
Very well
See
said,
you
Priya.
Thank you.
guys.
With that
Yep.
being said, see you next time.
Yeah. Bye now.